Today is August 3rd, 2022. My name is Karen Neurohr. I am a professor in the Oklahoma Oral History Research Program at the OSU Library in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I am here with Catherine Vijayakumar to conduct this oral history interview with her about her experiences at OSU. Thank you, Catherine, for participating in the interview today. I really appreciate it. So let's start with just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Karen, for having me here, and I really appreciate this opportunity to share my story with you. I'm Catherine Vijayakumar, and I came from India in 2000. Before I came to this country, I had done my bachelor's degree in English literature, and then I went and did my master's degree in the same field. And after that, I joined a women's college called Auxilium College and taught there as a faculty for 2 years. And then I went ahead and started a self-financed elementary school, and I managed the school for nearly 15 years. And it was from kindergarten through 5th grade, and I really bonded very well with those kids. And during that time, I also got my bachelor's degree from College of Education. And it was during that time that I met with my husband, who was already working at Oklahoma State University as a professor. And we got married, and so it's my marriage that brought me here to Stillwater, Oklahoma. And my experience here has been always wonderful. After coming here, I wanted to do something with my life. So I wanted to go back to school here, and I started working on my master's degree in College of Education. And that is the time I had this opportunity to work as a grad assistant for the Office of Multicultural Affairs.
Okay. What year did you get married?
Here in Stillwater, Salem Lutheran Church on Tuck Street.
Oh, yes.
Stillwater, that's where our marriage took place.
So your marriage was after you came to Stillwater?
Yes.
Yes. And what year was that?
I came in 2000 June, and I got married on July 2nd of 2000.
June of 2000.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had an elementary school for 15 years.
Yes.
So here in Oklahoma, they have these charter schools, so it was something like that, a charter type school.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Very similar to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was the best thing about that?
It's the most impressionable age, during that childhood days, to connect with those kids and teaching them, not just only education, but also about, so many cultural values,
Mm-hmm.
That was really very nice. I really enjoyed working with those kids. And some of the students that I worked with there, actually it was my own schools. I moved with those kids from kindergarten through the 5th grade, the first batch.
Yes.
So I really got very close to them.
Yes.
And one of the students is here in the US.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So was this school in an urban area or was it a rural school?
Actually, it was the school was meant to give opportunities for rural children and those who come from modest economic background.
Yes, that's nice. So what was it like for you growing up in India? Did you grow up in a rural area?
Actually, in India, I moved around because I live with my uncle's family and aunt's family who were on transferable jobs. So I lived in 3 to 4 different states. Yeah, so I moved around a lot.
Do you think that was helpful to have that experience?
Yes, I think so because early on I was exposed to multiculturalism because in India, it's a very diverse country, multilingual and you have multi religions and you go from one state to another state, they speak a different language. And so I was exposed to, you know, children who spoke different languages in my class.
Mm-hmm.
So I also started picking up different languages when I was growing up.
What was your favorite subject in school?
I loved poetry. I liked literature.
When you came to Stillwater in 2000, what was Stillwater like then?
It wasn't as big as it is now. Yeah, about 20 years ago. But for me, it looked big.
Yes.
Because coming from India, it's different. It looked different to me. But then the last 10, 15 years, I see Stillwater has developed a lot. It's become a lot bigger now.
Was there a large Asian American community here when you came?
No.
Has that changed?
Yes, now I see a lot more, yeah, compared to what it was 20 years ago.
Was it difficult being in a minority group in Stillwater?
I won't say it was difficult because, people have been friendly. Oklahoma, in general, Oklahomans, they've been very friendly and nice. So I can say that I missed, seeing people of diverse backgrounds,
Mm-hmm.
not that many here. But yet, I won't say it was difficult because I got help, I got support.
From other people in the
Yes.
community?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who were some of the people that stand out to you that were friendly and helpful?
From the community.
Yes.
Church members.
Churchmen.
Yeah. And Mrs. Rhoda Glacier. She was like a mother to me and to my husband. She was very, very nice. Even before I came, she sent a Stillwater map, and then she she drew a line from her house to my husband BJ's house, and how how close it is, and so, and she used to write to me and send cards. So even before I came here, I got connected with her. And a church, Salem Lutheran Church,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, members have been very supportive and nice.
Does that church have a diverse membership?
I won't say that many, but there are a lot of OSU faculty and staff who are members of that church.
Okay, so how soon after you came did you start working on your master's degree from OSU?
I came in 2000, June of 2000 and got married in July.
Mm-hmm.
And 2001, I wanted to, because of my experience, so working as a teacher and as a headmistress in India, I wanted to know how the school system is here. So I went and worked as a substitute teacher in the public schools of Stillwater. So for about a year, I almost in all schools I subbed.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a huge learning experience for me, and that got me interested, to get a degree here and get into public school system as a teacher. So that was my original plan, to be a reader. So I wanted to work on my master's degree.
Mhm.
And so I joined OSU in 2001 as a as a graduate student.
Mhm.
Then after the completion of the first semester, I remember getting this information saying there is an opportunity to work as a grad assistant in the Office of Multicultural Affairs. So that's why I applied and then I got the job.
Was that office in the student union at that time?
Yes,
Mhm.
it has been always in the student union, yes.
Mhm. And what is your master's in education? What was it, in higher education or public school education? Which area was it focused on?
My degree was focused on teaching, learning, and leadership with focus on reading.
Okay, all right. Well, then you started working in the Office of Multicultural Affairs. So did that change your plan?
Yes, yes. It changed my plan because I was originally my plan was to become a reading specialist after completing my master's degree. Here I wanted to do. By then I already had a kind of close to I think about a year of experience working as a grad assistant coordinator for Asian American students, and I enjoyed working with the students here too. So I continued on.
Mm-hmm. So in 2002, I read that you were the first coordinator for Asian American Affairs.
Yes.
Okay. And was that was the position at the Office of Multicultural Affairs?
At that time, it was called MDEC, Multicultural Development and Assessment Center. MDEC.
Who was the supervisor for that center?
Dr. Howard Ship.
Oh, okay. I don't know him, but I've read about him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I read that the Vietnamese American Student Association started back in 1979,
Mm-hmm.
so it was early on. But then we also had the Asian American Student Association, so two different groups, but they were under the same office.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes, okay. Just want to make sure I'm clear on that.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your position like as a graduate assistant within that office?
In that office, before I came, both ASA and VASA, VASA is the Vietnamese American Student Association, and ASA, the Asian American Student Association, both of them, they did not have a coordinator exclusively for them. They were advised or and guided by 1 year by a Native American coordinator or a Hispanic coordinator.
Oh.
So this particular group, they wanted to have somebody, from their own cultural background with whom they can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
And so Dr. Howard Ship said he had been, working for many years to have a representative for each group under his umbrella. So that's how they wanted to create that position. So they wanted to start it off with a grad assistant working as a coordinator with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so just like Native American students had Dr. Pete Koser as the coordinator, and then for the African American students they had a coordinator. So, and for the Hispanics they had one. So only for the Asian Americans they did not have one before. So that was the first one.
Was it an easy decision for you to decide to take that job?
I should say, yeah, it was. It was easy because of I had a great supervisor, Dr. Howard Ship. He was so very good in mentoring, encouraging me. So with all his support, I gained a lot of confidence. So that gave me the courage to go ahead as a full-time employee. So,
Did you do that before you finished that degree or afterwards?
you know, I think it kind of happened almost same time. I think because 2000, I remember the first year, 2002 to 3, I think. I was 1 year I was grad assistant, and the second year also. First I did 20 hours, and then they made it 30 hours,
Oh.
and then the following year it became full time. So, and I graduated with my master's in 2003 December. So it's kind of it's almost same time, I think.
Yes. So what were some of the traditions with the student organizations that were important? I've read about a little bit about the Moon Festival. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, for the Vietnamese and for the Chinese, every year they celebrate the Harvest Moon Festival, and that's the time they have the bounty, and they want to have a kind of a big thanks. It's something very similar to Thanksgiving celebration here in this country. So families get together and spend time together, and so celebration. So our students wanted to do something like that, and until I came, they used to do it in the indoor. It was an indoor event, but then after I came, we wanted to make it a huge production. So we started having it. I don't know, maybe you would have seen that sometime. Most of the time, unless it's a bad weather, we try to have it on the lawn. Open air program, and so it was open to the public. So it was a huge event for them. So planning that gave them a lot of experience working together, because they had to showcase their the culture. So it was an exciting time, a lot of work they had to put into.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so the students really have to take the leadership for that.
Yes, and in fact, they even start working on the flyers even during summertime.
Oh.
Yeah, so they send me the pictures and all those things. Planning goes on, reserving places, and so yeah, because they know once they come back to school, they'll be busy with the classes and all that. So whatever they do, early on, so attend to that.
So a couple of other things that I read about, there's an Asian Heritage Month.
Yes. Our National Asian Heritage Month is the month of May, but because our school is closed, so we try to always hold it during the month of April. So before the students leave, they want to have, sometimes they try to have 31 days of Asian awareness or something like that, 30 days of Asian Awareness Month. They do something every other day and something like that. It's not huge events, but then it's not just only food and fun events. It's also about something educational, to have debate on issues about affirmative action. Does it help the Asians or hurt the Asians? So we invite speakers to come and talk about those topics and things like that. So it was good.
And then is there also an Asian Awareness Week?
Because when it depends on the leadership. Sometimes when students feel burnt out, doing more events, in that case, they may some years they do it just Asian Awareness Week. Yeah.
Instead of a month
A
long.
month long, yeah. Because they started this pageant and all, so they first they didn't have Miss Asian pageant and Mr. Asian pageant before. So they used to hold these pageant scholarship, scholarship pageant shows sometime in April. So to doing that, and then again Heritage Month events, it becomes too many for them to.
I'm sure that takes a lot of
Yeah.
time. Which of those different events, which one did you enjoy the most?
I would say, I enjoy every event because, every event is an opportunity for the students to, develop some new skill sets. And it has its own, some require a lot of efforts, versus some lesser, so.
Okay, another thing that I read about was, and you touched on this, was inviting speakers in and doing educational programs. And two of them in particular that I saw, there were newspaper articles or they were talked about in the OOHRP. One had to do with interracial dating and one had to do with affirmative action.
Mm-hmm.
So topics like that, do any of those stand out in your mind as being particularly effective with the information and the interaction with the students?
Yeah, it actually, those topics, it exposes the students to think about these issues that are pertaining to the Asian population here, in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's most we have this one as an interactive program, so the students are able to express based on their personal experiences. A lot of times, how a student, how when they're dating, and what kind of support they get, or or sometimes how parents perceive that one. So when they share those things, the other students also feel they're not alone. So it helps them to understand each other better. So that is very educational, and they always like those kinds of topics where they can discuss these topics openly.
Yes, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
As part of their learning process.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Were there any new traditions that you helped students start that you're especially proud of?
Yeah, we had, for example, we didn't have Asian American Alumni Association on campus. So that's one thing. Homecoming is a big thing for me because it gives the opportunity for our students to connect with their former alumni of OSU.
Mm-hmm.
And also those students, I'm all about establishing good relationships with students and encouraging them to bond with each other. So that helps them, a lot, to do well in school. And so those students, when they graduate and leave, they look forward to coming back and reconnecting. And so starting an association, was important. So those alumni, they worked with me, and so that was a new one that we got started. I think it was in 2010, I think. And so that is one new initiative, and also Mr. and Miss Asian Scholarship Pageant, those were new too.
Was anyone else active with you in co-founding or founding the Asian American Alumni Association?
Yeah, the students. Yeah, I worked closely with at that time the current students and the students, the alumni. Yes.
Okay, I also read around 2006 that you co-founded the Asian American Faculty Staff Association.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Talk about that a little
bit. That was that was really a very, very good thing that happened on campus, because as a lot of faculty that I interacted with, many of them, they had little children here, and some like new faculty, they come and join here. So for them to have a kind of support system, would be nice. So that's the reason, I worked along with my husband, Vijay, and, then other faculty members. We worked together and then started this AFSA, we call it Asian Faculty and Staff Association. And this association is very active on campus because they also came up with a scholarship program for our students. And I also was able to work with these faculty and staff and make them part of the mentorship program that I started called Retention Initiative for Students. I think RIAS,
Rise.
Rise, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Retention Initiative for Asian American Students. RIAS, yes.
Okay.
RIAS, I think, yeah. And so this mentorship program, that involved students to connect with how we did. I recruited some upperclassmen who have good academic standing to be mentors for lower classmen, freshmen and sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
And the upperclassmen would have a mentor from among the graduate students, and the graduate students would have a mentor. Would have for mentorship. He'll have a faculty or staff, so all these people can work together. So that was very successful.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot to manage.
Yes.
Yes. Were you handling all of the communication?
I had to check with them. That was a lot of work. I had to ask them to report to me at least once in 2 weeks. I asked the students,
Mm-hmm.
and the faculty members, when they're very busy, it's very hard for them to. But still, some of them were really very supportive, and that was good.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned how helpful Dr. Howard Shipp was for you. Was there anyone else? And then you mentioned the woman at your church.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anyone else that comes to mind that was especially helpful for you?
Yes. 3 years after I joined MDEC, Dr. Howard Shipp retired. So Dr. Phil Burdine took over.
Philip Burdine?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
And he was very good too. He was very supportive, and that was nice too. I think it was during that time, we were able to do this Asian American Alumni Association, even AFSA also. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was very, very supportive.
Did the university provide a budget for the students for the activities that they did?
I should say it's Dr. Liebert's office, student affairs. We were part of it when it started off. Working for the office of MDEC. At that time, we were part of student affairs. So Dr. Liebert used to help us, and also campus life.
Mm-hmm.
They have. SGA, and every year, student organizations can make a request for funding.
Mm-hmm.
So it's to help the students to apply for funding in time. So when they get that money, apart from that, for additional money, we get it from our own division. When we got moved from the student affairs to the division of institutional diversity,
Mm-hmm.
and so Dr. Jason Kirksey, he used to be very supportive for all the students, so we used to get some funding through our division. And also our students used to do a lot of fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
And every year a bunch of students, they go and volunteer, they work the games.
Oh.
Yes, and raise a lot of money. And because every year I encourage students to attend a conference called MASU, Midwest Asian American Students Union.
Midwest
Asian American
Okay.
Students Union.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So students, at times, even 20 to 30 students go from OSU, by road. Yeah, they gone to Ohio, Chicago, Indiana, and so it's a very good exposure for our students to know what other schools are doing and
Yes.
bring new ideas back to school here. And our students were so very involved. Some of our students of ASA and VASA, they were given the Rising Stars Awards by
Oh,
MOSO.
yes.
Yeah, and some years even they served on their executive board also for MOSO. So they were very involved at that time. So the fundraisers helped them to go for these conferences and do these cultural events.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned the Office of Institutional Diversity. So that is something that started a little later after you started your work here.
Yes.
What kind of changes did you see that made in the university as far as their efforts toward diversity?
This division is main focus is on promoting diversity, and when it was part of student affairs, there you have campus life that is also to support all these various student organizations. So there was some transitioning time, because when you apply for funding, we used to apply previously all through student affairs, but now we came under this new division, so we started focusing more on the money that is coming from the division of institutional diversity.
So,
But in spite, we were doing it, but still Dr. Bird always was very generous in helping us.
mm-hmm.
When students wanted to do bigger events.
The big events.
Yeah, so
mm-hmm.
we benefited from both, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
because even though we were, moved from the student affairs division, but still Dr. Bird continued helping our
Yes.
student groups.
Yes. Well, I think overall, universities and college campuses, there were increases related toward diversity that really don't go back the real concerted efforts and the separate division and things like that. You got to experience that here, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So currently, I looked at the numbers for the current population of students and who self-identify as Asian, and I saw 2.15% of the student population, not multicultural, that's its own category. And then our faculty, I saw about 10.5% of our faculty identify as Asian, and then about almost 3% of our staff identify as Asian. Did you feel like that those numbers changed in your time here?
When I was here, I remember it was less than 2%. It used to be Asian American students population,
Mm-hmm.
and Asian American faculty were more in number, but now there are a lot more than it was when it started.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have a lot more people, and staff member also. I think in the recent years it has increased. I think it's good.
Mm-hmm. It is good. So, one student in an interview talked about your influence on him and how you pushed him to get involved, to study abroad and to take leadership opportunities. Talk with me about those types of efforts that you would make with students.
Yeah, I think you're referring to David Purdy. Yes, yeah. He's even as a freshman, he's one student. He was a good example. I used to tell other students, whenever there was new opportunities for applying for study abroad program or scholarships or leadership opportunities, I emailed to all the students, and then those students that I who stop by my office or come for the meetings, ASA, VASA meetings. I go and talk to them about that, encourage them, remind them. So it was he is one student. He made use of all those opportunities. That was really wonderful, and also. I always feel very happy to write recommendation letters for some students like Doan Win and Dee Dee Ho and Hyan Cow. These are students, Will who was these students, you know, they rose up to the level of winning the awards, seniors of significance and outstanding seniors awards, and so it was nice. I really enjoyed working with the students, and even for the pageant also. A lot of students are shy and they don't want to believe in themselves that they could do it. But all they need is just a word of encouragement every now and then.
Mhm.
So when you do that, you see the miracle.
Yes, it
Yeah.
can really make a difference.
Yeah, and I remember I think it's Pauline Pham. She was the first, the president of VASA when I started. So she she wrote to me saying that her experience. Not only she, there are a couple of other people wrote to me. Those who became the president or in offices of ASA and VASA. After graduation, they were able to get good jobs, and they rose up to supervisory level, and they were very glad that they took part as leaders here. They said that had a lot to do with their success in their career.
Mhm. Do you still keep in touch with
Yes,
a lot of these students?
Yes, I do. And sometimes they'll just send me a picture when a bunch of ASA VASA students. Sometimes they meet in Dallas or Austin or somewhere. When they go together, they remember me, and then they'll say, "Hi Vijay, here we are thinking of you."
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I do get that.
Do you use social media?
I don't,
Mhm.
but they have. But sometime I check, but I'm not very active on social media. But these students that I mentored very closely, they call me, text me, or send me some pictures.
That's nice. Were there any negative experiences for yourself or anyone that you knew that were related to racism when you were here that you would care to talk about?
I won't. I don't think I can say anything like personally that I can say that I experienced discrimination. But it's there. What I'm saying is that
Did students struggle with that at times?
at times, yes. Sometimes, students, they go out to eat, and then sometimes they make some, remarks, and they feel bad about that. And so those kinds of things they come and tell me, So
So you actually, those jobs, you are a counselor.
oh yes,
Yes.
actually, yeah, that's so very true. Yes, because when they have some conflicts or some issues, something like this, so they come and talk to me. Yes. And sometimes some students, they feel intimidated, in a classroom, and they, so even when they come and talk to me, then I reach out to the faculty, and then we talk to the faculty, and then you find out what the issue is, and then so yeah, it's helpful for them.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a big part of the job is communication
Yes.
and listening. So within the Office of Multicultural Affairs, you have the different student organizations, the Hispanic student organization, the Native American, the Asian American, the Vietnamese American, and the African American student organization. Are the students from the different organizations encouraged or expected to work together?
Yes, we do. Every year in the beginning of academic year, we try to have what's called I forget the title. It's diversity. We do a diversity program where all newly elected student leaders of all the organizations, Native Americans and Asian Americans, Hispanics, and even LGBTQ, all those leaders, everyone. Actually, we use the browsing room here. Yeah, we have a day-long diversity retreat kind of thing. So we have workshops for them, and also have people come and talk to them about where to get the funding and how to apply, and things like that. The programs they can do, yes. So that is good, so that those leaders will know each other, and also into the street and the big event. There campus life. They bring different student organizations together. So a lot of times ASA and VASA will join with Hispanic students or Native American students. So they go and do the volunteering, and so they get to know each other more.
What did you enjoy most about your work?
I enjoyed working with students, listening to them, and then finding ways, to help them. Because, their needs could be anywhere from, something personal, like, the difficulty they have with academics or maybe with the finance, or sometimes relationships. So you be that person as a mentor, you help them how to navigate, so. And when it works and when they are successful, they're able to do well academically and also, become a rounded person. Until they graduate, it's a very rewarding experience.
What was the most challenging about your work?
The late hours.
The late hours. Oh.
Yeah, because I advised several student organizations, ASA, VASA, NAACP. Yeah, so all those meetings are all in the evenings after 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So so those meetings every week you have at least 2 meetings or 3 meetings in the evenings, and then 1 week the officers meeting, and then the following week the general body meeting, and then they will have events, programs planned. So when you have programs, they're all in the evening, so it'll be late night, 8, 9 o'clock, 9:30 sometime. So that was very challenging.
What were the different officer positions for these student organizations? Did you have a president?
I have president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and then we have social chair. And we also came up with freshman representatives. So that among the freshmen, we select some people, and they can be the voice for the other freshmen. So yeah. And social chair and plan all the social events.
So there's several. And then you're trying to prepare some of the younger students to move up into those leadership officer positions.
Yeah, so what we came up with, because one time I remember, same time 10 student leaders, all of them graduated from both ASA and VASA. They were all only freshmen and sophomore. So it was a very difficult time. So since it's going to be difficult, so we came up with something called shadowing the officer, program. So they don't have to be elected officers. Whoever is interested in shadowing a president or vice president, so that way we had some students to sign up for that, and so they know, they learn the rope, so that they won't be completely, new to the job.
Yes. Did you notice any particular changes in students from when you started and until you're retired?
Yeah, I saw more and more multiracial students. There are among the Asian American students. Sometimes they'll say, "I don't know how to identify myself. I'm half Korean or quarter Chinese, and then half quarter white, something like that." They're multiracial. So some students had. Um, I won't say issue, it's a strong word, but then they just wanted to know where they fit in. So I used to tell them, they can join any club they want. They don't have to belong to any particular race. And in Ace and West, so we had lots of white American students, boys and girls who were officers too, because they didn't have to be an Asian to be a leader of an Asian American Student Association. Because as long as they're interested in learning about their culture and promoting, so it was a very welcoming atmosphere we had.
So the multicultural identity was something that their self-identity, is that what you were referring to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because some of them had, they were kind of not knowing where they fit in.
Mm-hmm. In 2019, you were honored by induction into the OSU Diversity Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations for that. You deserve to be in there. Tell me about that honor and what it means to you.
It was a humbling experience for me because I enjoyed working with diverse population here at OSU, and when Dr. Jason Kersey contacted me, yeah, I was very happy. At the same time, I was thinking about all those people who helped me, to get where, because I didn't do it on my own. It was, my husband played a pivotal role in encouraging me, and giving me all the support I need to complete my degree here and when I was working. And also, the administrators helped me a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
So and the faculty members, when I went to the College of Education, they also had lots of support.
Do any particular faculty members stand out to you?
Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. David Ellin.
Don't know.
He was my advisor.
How do you spell his last name?
Yellin.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your advisor? Okay.
Yeah.
Any other faculty?
Yes, and I liked Dr. Perry also. Katy Perry.
Yes.
Yes, I liked her.
Yes. I was able to interview her.
Mm-hmm. And Dr. Barbara Walker, she was the reading specialist. I think she even wrote a book and all. She was very good.
What would you say to current and future Asian American students at OSU?
I encourage them to make use of all the resources available across the campus. There's a lot out there.
Do you have any particular memories of the library? from when you worked here. You talked about the diversity retreat would
yes.
be in the browsing room.
Mm-hmm.
Do any other?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we've done a lot of stuff here. Especially the browsing room. We used a lot for AFS, Faculty and Staff Association, their meetings, and also um, some workshops. During Asian Awareness Month, and lots of presentations were done here in this room. It's so that's one thing, and also our students when I help the students to have this RISE, the Retention Initiative Students Excellence Program. So our students reserved a room near in the first floor where they could come there and do group study on a regular basis. So they did it for a while there. So that was a meeting place for ACE and VASA students to hang out. So, and the mentor and mentees they came and met up here, and also the students used to tell me in the night they come here and they as a group, and I have very good memories of coming to the library when I was doing my masters. I spent several hours here.
Did you have a favorite spot that you liked to go to?
Fourth floor. I used to go there.
Fourth floor.
Yeah.
You were interested in reading. Do you still enjoy reading? And your undergraduate was literature, and you still
I do. I
reading?
like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are your favorite types of books?
I liked anything that's poetry kind of.
Poetry?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you write poetry?
I wish I could.
Do you have a favorite poet?
Yeah. I used to like in my master's degree I took American literature, and so that interested me the way because British English is what is followed in India, so it's even some words are written differently, right? COLOUR versus COLOR, right? Yeah. So I like actually the poems I like Milton's Paradise Lost.
Milton's Paradise Lost.
So those I did in my undergraduate degree.
Okay. Is there anything that we haven't covered or I haven't asked you that you would like to share?
I think I had a wonderful experience at OSU as a student as well as an employee.
Are you enjoying retirement?
I do.
How do you spend your time?
At first I started out volunteering at the Stillwater Community Health Center. Now during the pandemic, I'm not able to do that. And also I'm one of the officers of PEO, the Philanthropic Educational Organization.
PEO, yes.
Yeah, so I'm active in that organization. And then I go for exercise, to the gym. And then
do you come to campus to do that?
I go to the Total Health.
The Total Health.
Yeah. And I used to come when ACE and VASA, when they have events, they invite me. So but now during the pandemic, those things are not happening that much. Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to see happen with those organizations, or maybe the Asian American Faculty Staff Association or the Alumni Association? Is there anything that you hope changes or that you would like to see happen with any of those groups?
I just want them to carry on, keep those organizations, continue doing the good work they've been doing.
Okay, I think that covers everything that I was interested in hearing about. I really enjoyed our interview and learning more about your time here and about you as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Heather.